Well, Parker, you had a real good training camp with the Winnipeg Jets. You get your chance to go down here and make an impact. So, from your perspective, for your first year as a pro, what are your overall thoughts?
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment for me playing the pro game. But yeah, I'm super grateful for the opportunity I had here um, with the Moose the whole season. And, I think I learned a lot from the older guys in that room. And, we grew a lot as a group, and I'm very thankful to be a part of that.
In terms of an adjustment from the NCAA to your first year as a pro, what was the biggest thing that you noticed in terms of differences?
I'd just say the amount of games played. I mean, this is the most games I played in my career, and in college you play at most 38, and so yeah, just treating the body, making sure you're good to go for the 72 game season. That was a little difference for me.
So, how do you feel now that the season's ending? Obviously, you'd rather still be playing and being in the playoffs, but from your own perspective, how did your body handle the full season?
Yeah, I'd say pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of guys in that room, like I said, that have been through this for a couple of years now, and have had good careers. So just try to take as much from them as I could, and but yeah, I think it's just the attributes to being a pro. You just have to go day by day and try to take little things.
Jump in 1 sec. We talk about a lot of different stats. Games played isn't necessarily one of them, but you did play in all 72 and then two playoff games. What's it mean to you to be able to kind of go through that entire season and be one of the few guys in a year that does play in every single game?
Yeah, I'd say just mostly thankful to be able to play in all the games, and I think it's like you said, it's not a big stat that everyone talks about, but hopefully that's something I can continue to stay healthy and just improve my game that way.
In terms of your production, I mean, it really seemed to pick up, especially towards the latter half of the season. What does that mean for you to be able to contribute? I think you had 18 goals or something like that. So to be able to find the back of the net that often and be able to contribute around this team, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I think a lot of that goes to the guys I was playing with. I mean, we had some chemistry there in the second half, and it was really fun to play with them, and just the way we played, we all kind of complemented each other, and yeah, it ended up working for us a little bit.
Well, and, Kyle Capobianco called you guys the identity line, just in terms of what you were able to do and how you were able to kind of be a heartbeat of this team and kind of driver of this club. What did you touched on it a little bit there, but in terms of what you learned from playing with guys like Kristian Reichel and Jeffrey Viel, how much do you think that impacted your development this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge for me. Just seeing those guys, how they work every day, and it was almost like every day in practice. It was kind of just a mindset that we wanted to go out there and just outwork the guys we were going against, and we kind of fed off that the whole year, and the success came, but it was more just a mentality that I learned from those guys.
First year in Winnipeg, what did you learn about the city, and how'd you like being here?
I liked it a lot. Had lots of fun. The weather was, I'd say, it was pretty good to us this year. It wasn't too bad, and but yeah, I mean, I had lots of fun with the guys, and looking forward to another year next year.
From a summer's perspective, what are you kind of planning on working on and getting ready for next year?
Yeah, I'm gonna train in Boston, and just looking forward to get stronger, faster, like everyone says. But I want to have the mindset that go into next year and try to make the Jets and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, you had a pretty successful first season of pro hockey. So with that foundation laid, what's the next step for you look like? How do you build on that, and what are you looking to really solidify going into that next training camp?
Yeah, I think everyone looks for improvement. So in some way, I have to improve my game, and I'm gonna have to find a way to improve. And as long as you can keep going up, and other people are seeing that, and I think it's a good stepping stone to the next level.
One moment maybe that stands out to you in terms of a highlight for you, or something that whether it was on or off the ice, just something this year that kind of stood out and was like, well, that's a pretty cool thing that happened to me in my first year as a pro.
So there's a lot of things for sure. Maybe a little different one is our first win after the losing streak, the 11-game losing streak, I just remember the feeling in the locker room. It was just like a weight was lifted off our shoulders, and we had been playing good hockey. We just couldn't seem to win, and I just remember we all kind of looked around and we were like, let's go on a run now, and that's kind of what we did. So that was pretty cool to just see like the emotion in the locker room, and seeing guys truly come together and turn the ship around.
So that, and that's kind of like, that's an interesting jumping off point, because we talked about it with the coach just now, and just the idea of what you can get from that. Not an easy experience to go through an 11-game losing streak, obviously, but the learning experience, the things that you turned, he said that's something that can serve you down the line. Is that something you, again, when you're in the moment, you hate it, you're not happy, but is it something you think, hey, I'm going to learn and see how we can, I can grow as a pro from that?
Definitely. I think there's a lot of things we can learn from that, and I'd say one big thing was belief. We talked about belief heading into playoffs, saying that anything can be thrown at you during playoffs, but as long as there's belief in the locker room and on the bench, that you can accomplish a lot of things. And I think just from that little skid, there was definitely belief in the locker room, and there was belief that we could still make playoffs, which we ended up doing. So, yeah, I'd say that.
The end of the season, you went through a whirlwind couple of days where you got the call up to the Jets, you took part in warm-ups, and then you were back with the Moose to play the next day. What was that experience like going through, and what was it like getting into warm-ups there ahead of that game?
Yeah, a lot of travel, a lot of time in the airplane, but it was cool. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't sure if I was getting in the lineup, and it was cool to call my family and just say, yeah, I'm heading up there and we'll see what happens. But I'd say more just the guys. When I got into the locker room, they were super welcoming, and same thing with Lambo and Chibi. They were, they treated them very well, and it's cool to just be a part, even if you're not playing. It's cool to be a part of that locker room, and they ended up winning the game, and just to see the atmosphere in the locker room afterwards, that was a pretty cool experience.
Jump off of Daniel's question now, but in terms of hunger, does that make you, obviously you got in some exhibition games last, September, October, but in terms of your own desire, does that kind of give you a little bit of a carrot for the summer in terms of when you're working out saying, there's my reward is to play an NHL game or to make the NHL team?
For sure. I mean, you get there and you want to stay there, and that's how everyone's mindset is, and it's for sure going to be a driving force for me this summer training, and I just take it day by day and try to go up from here.